Hello, hello, hello. How you doing tonight, Candace?
I'm doing fantastic. How is everybody doing out there?
We're doing great. Marie Claude is in the house. How are you, Marie Claude? Let's just turn that down slightly. We've got slight technical challenges. So what's your background tonight? It's like a lot of orbs, a lot of little crystal balls to see into the future.
Predicting the future, so I'm ready to just.
I love it.
Although it looked more like I was walking like an Egyptian, so.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Well, how you been doing this week, Candace?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Pretty busy as normal, but that's just. Oh, I had a fun trip to the DMV. So,
nice.
Well, it wasn't really fun. Basically, what happened is I went there Tuesday. Tuesdays are my days that I can actually do stuff. So I got there about 10:15. Went and got my little ticker because I was going to write my beginners so that I could get that because I got to go to driving school and get a car and stuff on all that stuff. So I looked at my number. It was C116. I'm like, oh, okay. And I sit down and they're on C28. 45 minutes later, they're only at C30. At that point, I did the math and I'm like, yeah, they're going to be closed well before I am going to get to see them. So I left.
Oh, man, that's horrible.
I'm going to go back next Tuesday, but I'm going to show up at 7 a.m. when they open to see if I can get in that way.
You might even want to go a little bit earlier.
Did you save your number? Because they may be at it by then.
I threw the number away, but
oh man. Well, you know what? That's
do they roll over though to the next day, or I thought they just assumed that at the end of the day.
No,
I don't know. It's such a shit show there right now.
Yeah, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Yep. Just want to take a second to say hi to Yardy. Good evening, and Redbeard's in the house. Redbeard and Jill, of course, and Jordan, and welcome to anybody else watching. This is awesome.
Redbeard sent me a message, and because we're back and forth, him and I sometimes on TikTok, just in the private. I'm holding this cord so I don't lose my sound, so I can't reach my my handheld. But he had like 350,000 views and picked up 6,000 subscribers.
What?
In one of his, I think it was, I'll have to post it when I get a free hand. But it's like, holy, to coin a phrase, banana bread. That was incredible.
Well, what was it about, Dan? What was your video about that got that many views? If you could put it in the chat, we'd love to hear what it was that catapulted you into massive success. That's fabulous. Congratulations.
Was that on YouTube or was that on TikTok?
TikTok.
Okay, just
a space I don't understand at all, but he's clearly doing amazing. So I just want to say hi to Muggsy and Phil and Bonnie. Welcome, everybody. I said hi to Joe.
Did you?
Yeah, I said hi, Joe.
All the folks are filtering in.
I know, it's awesome.
Muggsy just came back from a pretty big trip, all up in Alaska and places like that. So,
my gosh, that's amazing. I bet you that was awesome. Well, you know what? Just to finish up on Redbeard's thing, Redbeard, cheers, man! Congratulations on all your hard work and effort. That's just, you're a success story, and I'm hoping one day you'll come on our little stream here and just talk to us about what, like we did with Anthony last week, and talk about what you did and how you did it to get yourself.
Well, I did that one with Pierre and Justin, and I asked his opinion. He said, "Yeah, you're getting there." It's like,
oh, jeez.
I don't go political. That's the whole thing, though, and it's like.
But I think he does. I think his has the one you showed me. He does a little bit of risque political content. Yeah,
he's got it down pat. Obviously.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Admiral Rich here. Hang on. Okay, folks, for those of you, stop moving around. There we go. For those of you on TikTok, it's Admiral Rich E. Bird's Antarctica flights from the 50s.
Oh, you're gonna have to show me later because I don't have TikTok.
So, and I think that's just on TikTok, right, Dan?
Oh, that's amazing. That's just really, really
But
awesome. Good
it's
success.
incredible.
And you know who else has got a success tonight? Here's to Candace. She's over 900. She's crested the 900 subs mark. So cheers to you, Candace, for all your hard work and effort and consistency and showing up and doing all the right things on a regular basis.
Here now.
I know. Well, you know what? Honestly, she deserves it because she's putting the effort in, and it's doing YouTube is not an easy game. That is for darn sure. And you have been very consistent in your efforts, Candace, and you put out good content. And so really we're super stinking proud of you and glad to be just a small part of the journey with you. And so anyways, here's to Candace on this lovely Wednesday night.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's been a bit of a journey, but we're only getting started. So
we are. And part of what we're going to talk about tonight, I got thinking about speaking of crazy things. Oh, and if Gary Matthews is in the house, we just want to wish him a happy birthday. It's Gary Matthews' birthday today, everybody. So if you're in the house, Gary, he probably isn't. He's probably somebody is taking him out probably for a lovely dinner, and we're an afterthought tonight, which makes sense. But just wanted to say that tonight's topic, I wanted to switch gears a little bit, is all about planning for September and October and November. The fall, well, you know what's funny is that I always found that this time of year, because we had little kids, and because I was a little kid at one point in time, you know, it's that exciting time where you're out shopping for backpacks and your new notebook. Who didn't love a brand new notebook that had never been written on it? You know, my very first day's worth of notes was perfect, color coordinated, something smell the smell of handouts that the teachers just cranked on the little machinery
little campfire
there.
notebooks with the campfire on.
Oh yeah, yep. And it was all about, for me, you get a new outfit, new shoes. You know, our son Wesley, it used to be a big thing because sometimes I would try to beat the rush of the August, everybody's going to get back to school stuff, and I would go out earlier. That kid every day would come down. He would come downstairs with his new outfit on and his new shoes. And I go, no, you cannot wear those outside today. First of all, it's 500 degrees outside. And second of all, that is for the first day of school. But he gets so excited all about the newness of it. Now, if you looked at his backpack and his stuff on the last day of school, it was a dog's breakfast. There was stuff. I'm pretty sure the sandwich I made him on the very first day of school was ill in the backpack the last day of school. The reason he needed a new backpack every year is because you literally have to take the backpack and go like this, dump it in the garbage. There was no getting the smells out of that thing. Anyways, but my point on it all has to do with something about people make New Year's resolutions. I always found very beginning of September almost like a new year. Like, how do you feel about that, Candace? Do you feel
every September I'd be like, okay, this is the year I'm going to be less of a nerd. Then I would see the books and the new information, and that's out the window.
I know.
It's like full nerd on. It's like, hey, you want to come play? No, I'm going to the library. They've got great books. So yeah.
So you were a book lover, but you know what I mean about it? It's that renewal period. You know, you get to start something new. And for me, I don't know about you, and I don't know about the folks watching, but have you ever noticed that once Labor Day hits, it's like Labor Day hits and it's practically Christmas. I do not know why September, October, November, and December are the fastest quarter, like 4 months of the year. Boom. You start Labor Day and
you're excited, right? You're everybody's looking forward to Halloween and then to Christmas, and so you get all revved up, and it's like you're ready to go. Yeah. And then you hit January, and the blahs hit as like you've got nothing to look forward to except for bone chilling cold every day that just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's one of those funny things, you know, and And so what I was thinking about for today's topic, because we don't have another interview, we will be having some more folks on in a couple of weeks, but we're just going to intermingle them, bringing some. Tim and I have been working in the background, bringing in a whole bunch of different folks who are doing side hustles, and what are they going to do? And so part of what I was wanting to ask everybody tonight is, when you think of September, are you focusing on a side hustle, or are you focusing on maybe jumping into a new regime to help you be a better you? Because we talk about side hustles a lot on the show, because we talk about nickel and diming and all that sort of stuff, and making money and investing and all that stuff. But there's a big part of, we've all just been through something we've never been through in our life, which is the pandemic. And there's a bunch of people who are just not good. Tim and I, we might need to spend a little bit of time on ourselves, because we might have eaten too many donuts through the pandemic, so we're becoming donuts. I'm like, so there's a part of me that this is a really good time to start thinking about that, and how do we give more time to ourselves, because there's only so many hours in the day. You can only do so much stuff in life. We've all got obligations, and we have bills to pay, and we have to get up, we have to bunch our regular stuff. So when you dwindle all that down to just the few little minutes we have to ourselves, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on side hustle? Are you focusing on wellness? Like, what are you doing? So
the best thing to do is to find that perfect balance, because you can't, if you all side hustle, it's going to burn you out. Or if you do all of any one thing, it's going to burn you out. You're not going to accomplish what you need to accomplish. So you need to find that happy intermediate, that perfect balance where you're doing so much side hustle, and you're also not neglecting yourself, because you want to take care of yourself as well, especially your mental health, because a lot of people, have gone through a pretty rough time with this pandemic. So like that poor dog sounds so sad.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? Honestly,
he's dropped his ball between the window and the back of the couch.
His ball is between. I'm not even kidding you. That is what it is. He drops the ball under. He dropped the ball. We couldn't figure out what he was whining about. He was in between our pillows last night, looking at the back of the bed, and I'm like, what is his problem? Sure enough, I got up this morning and I looked, and there was a ball sitting right down on the ledge, off the mattress on the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have to jump up in a second if he doesn't stop and get his ball. So anyways, I do not know. Oh, that's funny. Ken says, remember, there are two things you can't have for breakfast. And Phil, as witty as Phil is, says lunch and dinner. Phil also said that Labor Day is the worst holiday for him, because he's not much for winter weather. Some people, it's a real hard holiday, Anyways, you're right, Candace. The whole piece about you have to focus a little bit on. I can't do that. I'm not even kidding you. I cannot do a little bit of something. I've tried, and I just fail miserably. So I have to pick one or two things. And I go all in on those one or two things. I can't do a little bit of everything. It's just not in my DNA. How about you?
Well, I was going to say, and that makes sense. That's where part of it is knowing where your perfect balance is, because where my perfect balance is not going to be where your perfect balance is. I have the ability to hyper focus on things when I want to, and a lot of people don't have that ability. And as a result, they are not going to run into the same results that I do. Something that I can hyper focus on for, days, months, years, may burn somebody else out within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you have to find your spot where you're comfortable, what you can do. And in the situation where you have a couple, that's beautiful, because you don't always have to. You do your thing. You can sort of figure out what is your strength, what is Tim's strength, how can they work together? Can perhaps Tim help you with where you're weak, and can you perhaps help him with where you're strong? And that can make an incredible journey together.
Yeah. Well, because you add, like, I invite everybody to do this. I did this with my sales team not so long ago, where we actually wrote down how many minutes of the day you actually have to sell something. And you can do it, doesn't have to be sell something. It could be do it for anything that's in your life. When you actually cut down the 24 hours into hours and then into minutes, and then you work backwards how long it takes you to do things. Oh my God, just wait a second. There was dad joke. There was a dad joke right there.
Even the comments went blank. It's like, oh,
I know, he didn't know.
Like
Wait a
stopped.
second.
It's like for a minute he was
everyone's going, everyone's waiting for me to say something next. It's like, no, I'm done.
Right. So you know, you think about how many minutes you actually have to do things, and then you know what that does? It all oh,
did you see a squirrel?
I read Jordan's comments. Sorry, Jordan. But no,
Thank
but
God
you go through and you figure out how many minutes you actually have of spare time in your life. And then you've really got to figure out, well, what am I going to do with those minutes? Because, you know, you read a lot of stuff where you have to go for a walk for 30 minutes every day if you want to be healthy. Because I hear a lot in the industry I'm in, you know, motion is lotion. When you're moving your body, it's like lotion for your joints and everything else. Okay, so lob off 30 minutes if you want to do that. Then you lob off if you want to go and have a coffee with a friend. How many minutes you've got to do that? And it dwindles things down. So then you realize, oh my God, if I spend a bajillion hours on a project, then something else has got to give. There just doesn't. Anyways.
Well, you see, that's where you can start to look at ways of multitasking. So, for example, if you want to get in 30 minutes of exercise every day, well, while you're exercising, whether it be on a bike or whether you're just doing some dancing or something, throw on some headphones, listen to an ebook that you need to listen to, whether it be in your field. So let's say I'm in finance, so perhaps I might listen to a finance book, or maybe I'll watch a video on finance while I'm exercising. So those are just ways that you can create extra time and get a little bit more done just by some simple multitasking.
Yeah, I do. We do at work, we do walk and talks. So instead of taking a meeting, sitting at our computer, we agree that we're going to do a walk and talk. So we will plug in our headsets and we'll walk. And we started doing that maybe March. Well, we haven't been extremely good at it because sometimes I have to look at spreadsheets. It's really hard to look at spreadsheets on your phone. It's really difficult. But if it's just listen, I need a few minutes. Okay, great. Walk and talk. So, but yeah.
Put a challenge in that you're going to add gum one day.
Yeah, I mean, and in the workplace as well, you can also have like stand-up desks, and some desks you can have that are sort of like they can move from a sit-up position to a stand-up, and they'll just slide up. Just that way, there you can get that standing up. You can get a little bit of blood flowing, and that will actually help with your productivity at work as well.
Yeah. Have you seen the ads for those funny little weird stepping machines where it's like a little step, but you put it under your chair, so you're stepping at work the whole time, but you're sitting in your chair? I honest to God, I had my girlfriends that I don't work with, but that work in the same industry. I sent that around to them. I go, hey ladies, multitasking. And so we got a real kick out of that. So that was sort of funny. But speaking of switching slightly, so from taking care of ourselves into sort of side hustling, it sounds like Jordan's gotten the comment that I didn't get a chance to read because you made me embarrassed that I stopped talking about it. But it sounds like Jordan has successfully.
Stop it, for God's sake.
This poor dog wants that ball. He's going to bark now. He's blowing a few. He's doing some beautiful glass blowing. If you go on to Ken's show on Friday and Saturday night, he was blowing it last Friday night when we were on, right?
He was fusing two different ones.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan has a beautiful side hustle. It's the only side hustle I know of where you can blow and still make money.
Yeah. That's funny. I have to think about that one.
Yeah.
That's fun. Then it looks like Phil says he's in the beginning
Candace.
stages of adding a 3D
I just
printer.
realized it was a double meaning that I was.
Yeah.
like,
Well, no, I went right there.
Double meaning, not the other
with
double meaning. Anyway.
Yeah, well, you know, like
Yikes.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I caught on to that a bit too late.
Yeah, I got what you were throwing. And then Phil says he's in the beginning stages of adding his 3D printer and his laser engraver to his glass shop. He'd like to have everything going at once. So
that side hustle, Phil, could actually get you some good Christmas gifts and ideas and stuff.
yeah, where are you going to sell? Are you going to sell the stuff, Phil? Like, is that the ultimate goal, is to get it all up for sale? Anyways, he'll answer in a minute.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yep.
Mhm.
And you know who else is about to start something? Andrew on Ken's show. He is about to start a side hustle too, that I think he wants it to be his full hustle, not just a side one. He's
Well,
got
that's the beauty of a side hustle. It can become your main hustle if you work hard enough at it.
yeah. So it's about, how do you balance? How do you juggle both sides and balance the importance of doing something and getting it started right now? Do you want me to take that?
No, I'm just reading Phil's comments.
And so it's the really important thing is to get something going now before you need it, because this leads us to our next point. Like, what do we think the economy is going to do in September? Like, there's so many mixed videos out there. Some people think it's doomsday. I was on reading a new publication that's all for CEOs and executives, and that is not the sentiment that they have. They are not seeing it as doomsday. They are seeing some of the inflation numbers flatten. They're seeing that the unemployment has leveled, like they're getting back to a better spot with unemployment numbers, and so they're in a growth mindset, and that is unusual compared to what you're watching. So this is where I'm in a dual world. I've got half of my world believes that it's doomsday, and the other half is like, no, we're in growth mindset.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be doomsday. We're probably going to see a recession. Not September, but towards the end of the year or early next year. But I don't think it's going to be a big recession. I think it's actually going to be a mild recession.
Really?
And here's my reasoning behind it. We have this one issue that's been happening for a long time, and I kind of touched on this on last Saturday in my video, but ever since World War II, we've had this giant bulge in the workforce that's been moving forward called the baby boomers. And even before the pandemic started, we were already in a situation where more people were leaving the workforce than entering it.
Yeah.
The pandemic took a lot of the people who were on the cusp, and they just all left. They're like, yeah, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm finished.
Yeah.
And that's part of what's created this massive hole in jobs, why we have so many unfilled jobs. And here's the thing. This isn't going to actually fix itself. It can't. It's only going to continue. Even after, no matter how much we raise hikes, we're still going to be in a net job loss situation every year. Or sorry, not net job, but net worker loss. Because these baby boomers, we've got to filter them out. And we've probably got about another 10 years before this is done. Yeah. During that time, we're going to have this hole. It's not going anywhere. It's going to continue to drive inflation. So getting down to 2% is probably unrealistic. We might be able to get down to 3%, but we're looking at a lot of rate hikes to do that. But here's the beautiful thing. Because we have this hole in the amount of workers we have, it's going to really, really sort of almost take away a lot of the fuel for a recession. Yeah. And as a result, any recession we do get, it's going to be two things. It's going to be weaker than normal, and it's going to be short-lived. So that is really, really good. It's still going to be rough. And as they're trying to get things under control, it's going to be rough on anybody who is in debt. Yeah. So right now, the number one thing you can be doing is trying to pay off some of your debts, get them under control before things get worse. Because they will get worse.
Agreed. Because it just takes one quick job loss, or like one of the two of you get a job loss, and then it becomes really, really super tight. And I don't know, all the people that refinance their homes to buy all those luxury goods, that's got to be hurting something awful now.
That is, yeah. And that's one of those things. And here's, I'm going to give you this other piece of advice. People who follow Dave Ramsey, he's always like, pay off your lowest bill first.
Yeah.
You don't have time for that luxury right now. You want to be paying whichever bill has the highest interest rate. That's the one you want to be paying. Put minimums on everything else. Pay off the highest one. At this point, math is your friend. Psychology is not.
Right. Right.
We've always been that way. That it's always the highest interest bearing debt that we.
Well, I understand. In normal times, I will usually tell people in normal times, you know what? If you are that person that gets disheartened and falls off the wagon pretty fast, then sure, if you really need that little boost, then pay off your small one, but go back to the highest interest after you've done that. But in this case now, because of everything that's in the moving parts, and we're looking at either a 75 or maybe even another basis point, or sorry, 100 basis point in September. So the interest rates are going to go up. It's going to be more and more expensive. So if you think about it, when interest rates go up, which one of your debts is going to cost you more? Well, whichever one's the highest is going to be the one that goes up the most. So you got to be working on that debt. You got to get it under control. Otherwise, you're going to get eaten alive.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the other thing to consider here is one of the things Tim and I did to keep ourselves like right on track and not fall into the debt trap, not death trap, debt trap. Although it always kind of felt like a death, is we went to only having our credit card limit to the point where it could be paid off in one of my paychecks. So we would only go to, because here's the truth of it. If we wanted to buy something really expensive, you can actually put money onto the credit card to increase your limit. And the banks will all day, every day, up your limit. They will do it, and they'll do it without even telling you sometimes, because to them, that's liquid gold. Every time you don't pay off that credit card, that is liquid gold coming in month after month after month for them. So they want to give you credit. They want to give you as much credit as they think you can handle. And I'm telling you right now, it is one of the secret sauces for us, is that our credit card limit is no higher than something that we could pay off. Actually, it's less than my full paycheck, because I just said, I want to be able to know that at any point in time, I can just dump my whole paycheck down on it if I needed to and be gone with it.
Well, here's another rule of thumb with credit. Whatever credit limit the bank gives you, don't go above 30% of that. So for example, if you got a $1,000 limit, then don't spend any more than $300 on it, because when you start using up more of that limit, you hurt your utilization on the card, and that will actually impact your credit rating. So as a general rule, try to stay 30%. If you want to make a big purchase, instead of letting it hurt your utilization, do what Nancy said and throw the extra money on that card first, then make your purchase and keep that limit down. Now, if you have that discipline, then every time the bank raises your limit, it's just like, oh, thank you. You're helping my utilization, because I'm never going to use that amount, but that's just, making me look better when it comes to my credit rating.
Do you think peace of mind is worth more in life than having amazing shiny baubles? Like peace of mind and knowing that we could get ourselves out of a situation just like this. It took us a long, long, long time to get to that place, but we're there now, and it is so much better to me than having we don't have the latest cars. We don't. We've got, how old would my car be now?
2016.
Yeah, my car is like, we take care of it. He's meticulous on taking care of the car to make sure that it's all got its oil changes. It's got all the things that it needs. We even just recently did a paint job on it to keep the rust down and all that sort of stuff. But we own that car outright. We don't have a payment on that. I do not need the biggest, fastest, shiniest vehicle. I need a vehicle that is reliable, that gets me from point A to point B, because I want the peace of mind of not being in scary debt ever again. I don't want that forever, ever again.
Sometimes what credit cards do is they'll give you that illusion that you can buy something, but the question is, can you afford it? Those are two different things. Being able to buy something and being able to afford it are absolutely two different things. So
Right.
one of the things, especially with this world that we're in today, where you can just go online and a couple clicks, you've bought the farm practically, is when it comes to these bigger purchases, just because you have this urge to buy this newfangled thing, why don't you say, okay, you know what? I'll come back to this in 5 days and see if I still want it. And you'd be
Yeah.
amazed how many times you're like, oh yeah, that would have been a stupid thing to order.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things that will absolutely save your pocketbook. The second thing is cell phones. As soon as the brand new phone comes up, or as soon as people's contracts are up, they're like, I got to get the next new one. Well, what's wrong with your old phone? Is it still working? If it's still working and it is still meeting your needs, why are you going to all of a sudden put yourself into a situation where you're dumping a bunch of money? And if you think about it, if you do this every single time and you can get, let's say you can get 4 years out of the phone instead of 2, what you're basically doing is it's like you're paying double for your phone
Right.
overall. So it's one of these things that, yeah, it's nice to have the newer one, but if your phone's still meeting your needs, there's absolutely no need. The big difference, of course, is if your phone is absolutely, broken and not functional, then you can look into options. But too many people, they just get caught up in the, I have to have the latest brand new iPhone. Oh, this one can go an extra meter deeper in the ocean. I got to have that one because of that. It's
No,
silly and it hurts your pocketbook.
Yeah, it's so true. And just to finish with that cell phone thing, I went to the office yesterday and the IT guy said to me, "Oh, I have to talk to you. Your phone, you're eligible to get another phone. If you want to go and get yourself another phone now. But like they cover a chunk of it. But if you want the kind that I have right now, I have to pay out of pocket for that." I go, "Do I have to get a new phone?" He goes, "No, does it still work?" I said, "Yeah, like then don't bother. Just hang on to it until it doesn't work, and then just bring it, and I'll get you a new plan." And I said, "Okay, no problem." Because to your point, Candace, I don't need all that stuff. Like I don't need it. I'd rather have whatever the heck the company makes me pay. I think it's $300 and some odd dollars, depending on which phone I want. Why am I going to do that right now? I don't need it.
Yeah,
Anyways,
exactly.
welcome, Ken. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
You got in. You finished your run for today. I know summer's a very busy time for you.
Yeah, I got some good footage today too. So.
Oh, I can't wait to see it, and that's awesome. And I thought we could take a second. We could all sing Ken a happy birthday. Not Ken, Gary. A happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh dear God.
Happy birthday to you, Gary.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
And this is where Simon Cowell would throw us all off the stage.
And my friend
Probably.
Charlotte is telling everybody to stop. I don't blame you, Charlotte. We're goofballs. We know it. He'll look back at this a year from now. Oh my gosh.
Won't be any better.
No. So
Alcohol was not part of it.
Yeah, no. Teddy Gator said Canada has the highest rate plans in the world. Teddy, are you talking about? Is that phone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you imagine how in one fell swoop? Think about this: in one fell swoop with one product, that how many households have multiples of these? There used to be one phone that sat on a desk in our kitchen that had a giant long cord that if you wanted to have some privacy, you had to take it and run and sit in the hall closet and shut the door in the dark, But, I don't know. It's kind of crazy that now how much money is each household spending every month that reduces their disposable income on having a phone?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I pay $50 a month and I get unlimited nationwide calling within Canada, and I get international text messages, and I get 10 gigs of data a month. I pay 50 a month, and
Okay,
that
and
suits
that's
my
just
needs.
for you. That's just for
That's
you.
just for me.
Okay, then what do you pay for Natasha?
Hers is 40.
Okay.
Same thing, but with 4 gigs. And then the kids are like $20 each a month.
Mhm.
But
So that's
they
right
they
there,
get 100. They get the kids get 100 minutes outgoing, unlimited incoming.
but you know what the difference is? The difference is now kids in the old days, and I'm talking when we first got cell phones for our kids, we were worried about the calling. The calling is no longer the issue because they don't really
Yeah.
call people. It's the texting and the looking at stuff on the phone and the data usage and all that sort of jazz. Kind of crazy. So you've now added to your household budget. You're what, $130 a month.
69. Yeah, 150. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is actually cheaper than I used to pay for 2 phones for me and Natasha on Rogers.
So
It
what
was.
what plan are you on now?
I'm with Public Mobile.
Is that just a down in the southwestern Ontario region? I've never heard of Public Mobile.
No, it's a third party to TELUS, just like Chatter's a third party to Rogers,
Yeah.
and Virgin's a third party to Bell.
Ah.
That's
So
where
I don't pay any system access fee, that $6.95 or $7.95 a month. I just pay $49.90. No, I pay $50 plus tax, so it's like $53 or something like that I pay per month, and it suits my needs. Yeah, it suits my needs.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of people in the chat. Yardy has said that his family in Jamaica has an unlimited plan to call Canada and the US for half of his TELUS bill. And then Phil plays $80 unlimited everything. So that's amazing. Like but it's still a new thing that we didn't ever had to pay for before. It's crazy. My friend Charlotte said, let's talk about credit line. Should you get one just in case? So I'm going to lob it out to you two.
Yes.
Yeah. Ken says yes. Candace, what do you think?
Yes, with stipulations. First
$500 credit limit.
Well, first of all, no, that's not the stipulation. The stipulation about a credit line, first of all, is one,
credit
diversification of credit will actually help your credit score. So if you're looking to build your credit score, that's a good thing. The other is if it has a lower interest rate than some of your other credit, then pay off those higher interest credits on that credit line. So you're paying an overall lower credit score. The other big thing, though, is that even if you have it as a just in case, you are better off if you just sort of slowly build up an emergency fund, or if you can just not use it. But there is some peace of mind to know that if something were to happen, let's say you don't have an emergency fund, but you do have access to credit and your house, hopefully this never happens, but your house burnt down, you can at least go to a hotel in a situation like that. So there is a use for it. I would say, yes, get it. Try to negotiate as lowest interest rate that you can get, move over high interest rate to it. Don't use it though frivolously, sort of save it as an emergency if you absolutely have to use it.
Yeah, I misread that. I thought it was a credit card. Yeah, a line of credit. Line of credit's going to be your interest rate's definitely going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
And the only way to really get a line of credit is you have to have already been responsible with your credit for a bank to actually go out and give you an actual line of credit.
Well, and usually the line of credit is backed by some kind of a security back. Like it's usually against your house or against an asset of some sort.
Oh yeah, as soon as I bought my house, like 2 weeks later, I got a thing in the mail asking me if I wanted a $30,000 line of credit.
See, there you go.
So, and that was at like 6.5%.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. So can we go back to Gary has said that he just talked to his provider and it reduced his bill by $20 per month. So how did you do that? And are you guys doing that on a regular basis? Like, how often are you revisiting your bills? And is that something you do in September? Like, is that a September thing? Oh, September, I've got to renew everything and kind of look at where I'm at. And so I do it now, or do you try and do it on a regular basis?
Well, I know myself, I like to go in and take a look at see what plans are available every month. Because sometimes you'll go in and it might just be there's a plan the exact same price as yours, but with 10 extra gigs of data, or for example.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt to take a look. And if you do feel like you're being really, really overcharged, call up Rogers or Bell or whoever it is and throw out the word cancel. Then they've got to get you over to retention. And sometimes retention have a few little plans that they can throw. Even if they throw it at you and say, look, for the next year, we'll reduce your bill by $20 a month. Take it and then call them again after that's over. And then if they don't, then look at going to another provider and you'll probably get a better deal going to them as well.
Yeah. No, it's so true. So good evening, Len. Great show you had tonight.
Yeah,
We
really
enjoyed
good.
it. We enjoyed it immensely. Thanks for joining us. Charlotte has a second question. How much cash does everyone keep in actual accounts?
Well, the whole idea of an emergency fund. Initially, when you first start an emergency fund, your goal should be about $2,000 cash, bare minimum, that you have access to. And some people are like, oh, well, can I lock it up in something? Well, no, because if you lock it up in something and you need it, you can't get it.
Right.
Ideally, from that 2,000, you want to build it out until you have about 6 months worth of expenses. And then at that point, just keep on, whatever inflation is, add that amount to it each month to sort of keep it going. And normally what I do is I'll say stick it in something like, don't put it in a regular bank. Look at something like an EQ bank, for example, where you'll at least get a little bit of that interest on it. You're still losing money with it sitting there. But the reason it's sitting there is to be there for you in an emergency. And to have access to that is, it can save you big time.
Yeah.
When unfortunate things happen, like if you lose a job and you don't qualify for EI. Although I'll put this out there right now, if you think you don't qualify for EI, try anyway, plead your case. I have gotten EI in the past in times when I absolutely did not qualify for it, but I went and I just pleaded my case. One example, I used to work for Rogers, and there was a newspaper article about how they were pressuring people to sell. So I just said, oh, perfect. I quit my job. And normally when you quit your job, you can't get EI. Then I applied for EI and I said, they were putting all of this undue pressure on me to sell and I couldn't do it. I refused to basically breach my own ethics in doing it. And they bought it and I got EI.
Well, that's good to know. That is good advice, Candace.
Yeah. Don't just because
that's
you
really
don't
good.
qualify, still try. Because, when it comes to finances, you want to keep money flowing to the best of your ability. And just going back to your side hustle as well, one last thing that I did want to mention about that is that when you want to make your side hustle into your full-time hustle, make sure the finances are there. And sometimes if you're in a side hustle that's doing really well right now, what if it slows down a little bit? Do you still have the finances to be able to continue with that? So you don't want to leave your job until you are sure that you can survive and that you have at least the funding in place to get you through any rough times in the initial part of turning your side hustle into a main hustle.
Well, and I think I don't know if you guys can hear us, but I think the whole purpose of having a side hustle, in my opinion, is that you get to the point where you're trying to lob away as much money as you can for your retirement years. So how do you do that? Because if we're working as hard as we can right now with our regular, and the price of everything has gone up, so you got all these bills coming in, the ability to continue to put away and invest at the rate at which we had been is being compromised because of the high prices of everything. So you almost have to look at a side hustle, even if it gets wildly successful. Okay, let's keep all three, because now you've got a third. It's like getting married to another person. It's like having two wives, honey, or two husbands.
Well, another big thing too, and a lot of people forget about this. When you move over onto the investment side, you want to be taking advantage of your RRSP. If you're not contributing to that as you're heading towards retirement, you're wasting an opportunity. Also, use it as a wonderful way of reducing your tax limit. So whatever bracket you're in, you can put enough into your RRSP to knock you down to the next limit beneath that, and then you're paying a lot less tax. So there are ways to not pay as much taxes, and that in itself will really help you with your retirement. Like last year, I paid a grand total of 0 in tax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because of the RRSP and tax loss harvesting.
Right.
So, I utilized a few different tools to make sure that all of my money was staying with me and not going to the government.
Yeah.
So there are ways to do it, and keep in mind, these are all completely legal ways to do it. I would never advocate something outside of that.
No. Another tip or another thing that I think was very helpful for Tim and I when we were originally on this journey is recognizing things that you don't need, but that you're spending money on and you don't realize you're spending money on. Like you bought it and it's coming out repeatedly and you don't really think about it, but think about, and I think it was Candace, it might have been you that gave this tip once, but I'm not completely sure if it was or it wasn't. But when everybody has like Netflix, Crave, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, like you've got all of these different streaming apps, and you're paying out. How many TV shows can you watch at once? Mm-hmm. Like wasn't you that said this, or it could have been another friend of mine who said when they get into a TV series, they literally cancel all the other subscriptions because they know for that month they're going to be watching whatever stream that's on. Then they get off of that one when they go to buy in and find another stream. Then they cancel the one and they go into the other. I didn't know that was a possibility. I didn't know you could flick in and out.
You can definitely do that. That's one way to save money. Another way to save money too is talk to your immediate family, because you may have a brother who has Netflix and they're like allowed to have so many people on that Netflix. Then they can give you the login, and then you could split the cost. So all of a sudden you're paying half. Right. You can do that with most streaming services. So if you do have a family that's all full, heck, some of your family members will be like, oh yeah, here you go. Oh, don't worry about it. So sometimes you can even get on one for free. Yeah, but it always is. Just to finish that up, it always is really good to go over your statement of what you're paying out, because I like to call these things vampire charges. Sometimes it might be something as simple as somebody sent you a horoscope once, you read it and you thought it was funny. Well, all of a sudden you're paying $1.99 or something every month for that horoscope to be coming without you even knowing it. So be aware of what these little charges are, and they all add up. So take care of them, get rid of them.
That's the other thing too, is everyone who has, I can't speak to the Android phones, but the Apple phones, to go in and see what your subscriptions are every once in a while. Because, we all have, well, I don't know we all, but there's a tendency for people to go and get these $1.99 or $5.99 things. And
that's what she just said, the vampire.
Yeah, those little vampire billings.
Yeah. They'll get you every time.
Well, you got something that's $1.99. If you got 10 of those little things, you've got $19.99 coming out a month all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So they add up really fast.
Timmy, are you upset that I cut you off on that?
Oh no, not at all.
She didn't even turn on her blinker. You didn't even turn on your blinker, Nancy, before you cut him off on that one.
Well, it was funny. When Tim went all static, I thought for a second they were frozen. But then I'm like, wait a minute. No, but Nancy's still moving.
That's it. Oh, that's funny.
Sleep with one eye open.
Yeah. Anyways. Gary said, just sorry, stopping the topic, but Gary said he's done 379 days on Shakepay. Nice. That's incredible. Gary. My gosh, that means that you started sometime last summer and you've been going. Yes, I can do the math. 365 days. We're at 379. That means at some point last summer, maybe he'll even tell us which day.
Look at Len put there. That's 3 years.
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Well,
Len
I
said
know.
someone recently hit the 1,000-day streak on Shakepay. That
Oh, that's awesome.
person is dedicated to the cause. No fooling. How
Let
the
me guess,
heck did they do
it's
that?
Tim Danter. No.
No. No. But these little tips, going back to our conversation, these little tips on checking in and making sure you're checking your bank statements and you're looking, it's incredible the stuff that we are mindlessly doing. We are mindlessly doing these things.
Mhm.
Nobody intends every month to do that. You know, the other thing that is a real bugger, and it makes me so mad every single time I do it. You know, in the fridge, when I go to we've missed something on a code date. We've missed, you know, and you're throwing food out because it's past its best before date. Boy, that really burns me. I hate doing that because especially if it's something that somehow got shoved to the back of the fridge. I'm literally like, oh my God, that's
There's
$10.
something to be said about shopping
I
every
might
day
as-
for your food.
That's it. That, you know, some people think that that's dumb to do that. Well, I am telling you that works if you got a family like Nate does, 10 children, 2 adults. That makes total sense for them to bulk up and do bulk buying. For Tim and I, does not make sense at all. I buy things. I'm so excited to go and make it. And then once a week, I'm cleaning the fridge out. I'm like, oh my God, how did that get lost in the
Let's
fridge?
talk a tiny bit about those expiry dates. For one, if you've got something that's just expired, it's fine because these
No,
dates.
I know that. I do know that.
A lot of times you've got a week or a month after that date for the product to still be fine because they have to be very conservative with those dates by law. Now, what you can do is if you do have a bunch of food that is all of a sudden, 1 or 2 days past the date, bag it up, freeze it. That will extend it. You can then, unfreeze it as you need it. So instead of throwing it away. So that's another little solution that will save you a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what angers me the most is that stupid lettuce we get pre-packaged in that thing. It's not even at its expiry date. We open it up and it's like, what in God's name died there?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we found it. So honestly, those
like,
are
honey,
awesome.
Did the lettuce come with juice in it?
No. Those are awesome tips. And maybe I'll do a show one night specifically on how to make your food dollar go farther with some of the things that I know about the food industry. Similar to what you're saying, Candace. Like you can freeze a lot of stuff, a lot more things than people realize that they can freeze. People don't realize that if you've got cheese, for instance, like a brick of cheese and it's getting close and maybe it's got some hard corners on it, chop the hard corners off, shove that thing in either a food processor or shred it all down, put it into a baggie and throw it in the freezer. You can freeze cheese, no problem. Like there are things people don't realize that you can actually freeze. So those are good. Those are good points. It just literally burns me when we.
I got a tip for the lettuce
around that food stuff, man. It really bugs me.
I got a tip for the lettuce thing that Tim was talking about because we do that all the time. We'll buy lettuce for like hamburgers, and then we'll go look at the lettuce like 4 days later and it's brown. So if you need lettuce, go to Wendy's and just buy a salad. Just a small salad, an individual salad. That way you're not wasting a whole lot.
Right.
Because you could probably use it in one meal.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, if you have limp celery, just throw it in water. It will perk it right back up as the water moves in through osmosis.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, there are some really good mad tips. Sorry, our son is dinging us. If all of a sudden we're blank, it's because our child is dinging and it's Graham's computer. Phil keeps his romaine lettuce in a glass of water. That's smart. There's some other really cool tips too that we just don't don't think of and we don't think to do. But you can shred down carrots too. If your carrots get wimpy and limpy, you can put carrots in water, same as the celery. If it looks like slightly off, just shred that thing down. And carrots freeze too, because think about it, you buy frozen carrots. And carrots shredded down can go in any meal, like any kind of a casserole, to extend the casserole. You literally can make it bulk out any kind of a food item. And we got watching the last couple of days, we got watching all these challenges on YouTube where people are saying, can I live off of $10 in a week from the Dollar Tree in the US? Now, these are US channels. I said to Tim, I wonder if we should try to do a Canadian version of that. Can we live off of, it would not be $10 because $10.
I am not doing that.
They were quite
Well, you
inventive
just
in
knock
what they
yourself
can do.
out there, and I'll have my watery.
No,
lettuce.
but here's some tips that I did learn. I have a girlfriend who goes, I think she goes once a week to Farm Boy. I think she goes on Monday, she told me, and she goes to the section in Farm Boy where it's the slightly bad, like it, not the perfect fruits and vegetables. Okay. She brings that stuff home and she finds a way to use that stuff. I have to give her kudos, man, because she finds a way to make that stuff go in her home. And it is one of her cost saving tips she does on a regular basis is she goes to that section and she said, you can salvage most of that stuff that they're marking down in a big way.
Yeah.
Especially bananas. Bruised bananas are perfect.
Yeah.
So,
right?
Did we go over this before about the bananas? That when you're picking the bananas in the grocery store, pick one that's ripe, pick one, and then pick them in their degrees of ripeness.
Oh, yeah.
Here's because something a lot of people don't understand at a banana store. At a grocery
store.
You don't have to take the whole bunch of bananas. You can, if you want to, just tear 2 off and take them.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's all done by weight.
No, but do you get what Tim's saying on that banana tip? It's actually really smart. So if you know that you want to have a banana every day with your cereal, buy one really rock hard green banana. And then go in its varying degrees so that when you get home, the next day you consume the most ripe, and then they will ripen as the week goes on, as they go. It's actually a really smart tip.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, and most people don't realize this, don't put your bananas near your apples. Do you know what most people do? Most people go home and they take their bowl and they put all their fruits and vegetables into a bowl. Don't do that. Do not put your bananas anywhere near your apples. And in fact, don't put it near quite a few fruits and vegetables. There's an app. It's free. It's called Markon, Makron. And on the Markon app, that's the produce we sell at Gordon's. On that app, it tells you which vegetables and fruit to not store together. And it's got optimal storing instructions on it, so that you inadvertently do not put things in wrong places and they will last longer. For instance, don't ever put tomatoes in the fridge. Tomatoes are not meant to go in the fridge.
Yeah, and the reason why you don't want to put certain fruits together is there are chemicals that are released from specific fruits that will actually make the other fruit ripen faster.
Yeah,
that's
it's a gas.
It's why. Yeah, it's a gas.
I think it's not methane, but it's ethanol. It's a gas.
I don't know.
Now the dog is going crazy, scratching the pillows here. This dog has been out of control. We even took him for a big walk tonight before we started the stream. He's going nuts. Yeah. So there's all kinds of tips like that. Like potatoes should not go in the fridge. Most people don't realize that. I can't stand this. Great. Doing that. I just removed the pillow. That couldn't take it anymore.
How do you know?
Yeah. So anyways, he, ethylene gas, Jill's saying. Thank you, Jill, for looking that up for us. It gives off, fruits and vegetables give off different gases. It's like potatoes. Do you know that people, those chip trucks, you know, the chip trucks that you buy the really good French fries at, the really yummy French fries that are hand cut.
They got it.
Those guys buy potatoes. Like, say they buy 50 bags of potatoes. They're bringing them in. We're delivering them. They don't use those ones. They're using the ones that they've got from the week before. They're always getting whatever they get in that week. They're not using straight away. They're letting those. They're letting those things get to a certain not ripeness, because that's not the right word. But they do
Readiness?
not want to use cold potatoes in any way, shape, or form, not even remotely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but we think about what you do when you come home. You end up throwing things in your crisper down below, and you don't even think about what you're doing. Some things shouldn't go in there. And so if you're smart and get the free app, it's called Mark On. Free app thing. There's no link in that. Just Mark On at the App Store. It'll tell you exactly what to do with your fruits and vegetables, so that even where you should be putting your lettuces in the fridge, like your romaine lettuce can go at the furthest backest part of the fridge where it's colder, but your spring mix, you eat that kind of lettuce, needs to come up front. It needs to be at the warmer part of the fridge. Most people don't even know that. They just throw it all in and they're not thinking about it. But that's it. These are things.
And an
that help
interesting
us
thing
to
about old potatoes, I find them very suspicious because they always have an eye on me.
multiple eyes on you. Now that
It's their spuddy you got to watch it for.
yeah. So yeah. Well, do you know I read something recently about eggs? So Jordan's just written about softness here. In
Here we
softness, just like a fresh egg won't peel properly if boiled. Let it sit at room temperature for 48 hours. I've never heard that.
I got a trick. You boil it for 9 minutes, and then you immediately put it in cold water, cold tap water, and just let it cool
Icy.
down.
Does it have to be icy?
Sure.
No, you just run water over it, cold water.
Yep, and it comes away.
You see, I have this method where I just put a small crack in the egg after I boil it, and then I use my fingers, and I'm able to manipulate it off, usually very easily.
This dog is
Is
gone.
he wanting out now?
He wants out now. So, anyways, maybe what we should do is just call it a night and say, I don't understand what's going on with Grady tonight. Balls, pillows. Now he wants outside.
Be careful where you're pointing with
balls, pillows. Anyways, this has been a fun conversation tonight. I'm really glad we went down the road of getting ready for back to school and back to school stuff, and whether we're going to go into side hustles. We'll revisit this because everybody's got really cool, interesting side hustles. And I love talking about what everybody's doing. Ken, I can't wait to see some of your video footage. Have you got it up online yet?
Not yet, but I got tons. So
That's awesome. Did you find last week inspiring with Anthony?
yeah. Actually, I'm a devoted Anthony TV watcher now.
Yeah, me too.
He's a fun guy. Sorry, Tim can't wait. He's got to let this dog out. This dog's going nuts. And anyway, so that's good. So you like Anthony's stuff?
Yep.
Awesome.
Sorry, I got technical challenges. Oh, 1 sec. Oh my gosh. Technical challenges, dog challenges. This is a crazy situation tonight. So you're an Anthony. That's right. It's the end of summer. So you're an Anthony fan?
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good. We really enjoyed the conversation with him. So you've got your new videos are going to start coming out. You've got your Freaking Oracle show.
Right.
Friday, Saturday night.
Yes,
And
Friday and Saturday night.
You've been doing Sunday nights now as well.
I've been filling Sundays when Rye doesn't have anything posted.
Okay.
But I talked to Rye and he said he's not posting anything in the future. It's kind of like he's gonna release it when he decides to go live.
Oh, okay.
So like no notification, like he'll release it and then say whatever, like a half an hour later. You know, he'll release it at 7:30 saying that he's going to be live at 8, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Which I didn't know he was doing that, or else I wouldn't be doing it on Sundays. So
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
So we're not sure. We can just tune into if we're subscribed to you and we've hit the notification button. If you're on, you're on, and if you aren't, you aren't.
yeah, just make sure you got your bells hit there. I know YouTube's algorithm has been doing something really screwy. A lot of the stuff I normally am subscribed to and have notifications turned on, my notifications somehow are getting turned off.
Weird.
So people need to double check their notifications for channels that they frequently watch. Yeah, I don't know what's
Interesting.
going on with that. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's awesome. And Candace, give us the lowdown. What do you got going on this week?
Well, tomorrow, by popular request, I've had people say, we need more canoe. And I said, okay, I will paddle my way into your homes tomorrow. We've got a canoe versus the recession video. So basically, it's we're tearing them down in a way we've never done before. So I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. That's, of course, at 11 a.m. Eastern. My videos are always at the same time, and we'll be back again on Saturday with a commentary, Sunday with a live stream, Monday with another video, and then back here next week, all fresh, shiny, new, ready to go.
Right. That's awesome. Candace is at Mountain Finance. You can find her at Mountain Finance. Ken is at the freaking Oracle. And you've also got another one. I don't think Tim has created a banner for it. Do you want us to advertise it yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Stay tuned for Ken's new channel, which will be, he said it before, but if you don't know what it is, you're just going to have to wait till he's ready to spring it on the world. And for Tim and I, we had a video, we've been clipping down the Anthony videos, and we got, I think one came out this afternoon. Oh, there's Tim back again. And Tim's starting to do some driver training type little video clips because he experimented with it. We got tons of views on that one video that you did on it was intersections,
Left, right,
right?
scan.
Yeah, left, right scan. Honestly, Tim's tips and tricks on the driving, these are gold. Like, I'm not just saying because of viewer stuff. I mean, most people don't know, but Tim Danter has been teaching people in one way or another for well over even 30 years at this now. 34 years teaching people road safety education. And he has been he's helped, I dare say you've got about, we did about 25, 30,000 kids in our time in this town where we live now when we had our driving schools here. Now with the people that you help, plus the show, Canada's Worst Driver, this guy's got some mad skills and is very passionate about keeping people safe on the road. And I'm just saying that his little tips and tricks are good reminders. I'm lucky enough I get to drive with him all the time, and he is very helpful telling me hints and tips.
Yeah,
and
I'm
tricks.
about to start learning how to drive, and I am so sad that the Danters live so far away because I would hire Tim in a second. He is awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? And Gary Matthews has also done, he's half of that. He's got 15 years this year. Like these are really long-standing guys that know what they're doing and they're passionate about what they do. And yes, Tim Danter did teach Charlotte's daughter. He's taught a lot of people's kids, and you know what? He's got some good tips and tricks. So keep your eyes peeled for some of the Tim Danter driving videos. They will be on our channel coming out. Plus his dad jokes. Honest to God, his dad jokes are hysterical. We're gonna do something fun. We're going to ask people to email us pictures of them doing the Tim face at the end. And hopefully we'll put a montage together on YouTube of all the people doing I can't do it. I don't even know how you do it.
Good night, Gracie.
Anyways, thank you everybody for watching tonight and joining in on the conversation. We love seeing you on Wednesday nights. It is a pleasure to spend it with Candace and Ken and all of you. it brings joy to my heart. So thank you for coming, and we will see you next Wednesday night on same bat channel and same bat time.
Same batty people too.
And same batty people. Bye.
Bye, everybody.